are the processing sinks. To process, it's going to take anywhere from 35 to 50 minutes. Plan on a whole period, okay? If you don't have a whole period to process, don't start. You're going to run into next period, and I'm not going to write you a late pass, and you're going to get a tardy and in trouble from your teacher, okay? So you need a whole period to process. You can process. You can come in at lunch. Just let me know. That's only 35 minutes. You need to have it ready to go in a tank, and you need to come in and bust it out really fast. And that's only when the processing time is low. So the developing time, processing developing time, it can be found on the whiteboard over here. So if you look over there, kind of light, it will say ISO 100 and ISO 400, and it'll give you a time. Okay, be sure to check that daily as it changes. It changes because the more the chemicals are used, the weaker they get. And I don't change the chemicals until after a few weeks. All right, so the more they get used, they're weaker, so you have to do a longer developing time. So check that every day because it could change. All right. There are a total, there's 2 sinks, okay, pick a sink. There is a total of 4 chemicals at each sink. And I see my advanced class has already messed that up. Yell at my advanced class for me, everyone. Don't leave chemicals out like this. Also, advanced class needs to clean up their mess after. Anyways, there's a total of 4 chemicals at each sink. The directions to each one are on the wall. These are detailed directions on the wall. Follow them step by step. You cannot skip a step. You cannot delete time or add time. It is very important that you follow these exactly. Okay? So if it says turn your tank upside down 10 times, turn your tank upside down 10 times. It says pour in water, pour out water, do that. All right? Use the chemicals below the sink you are using. If you're using the sink, use these chemicals. If you're using the sink, use these chemicals. Don't swip and swatch. I don't even know, those were words I just made up. Because things get confusing, and then people end up pouring chemicals into the wrong bottle. If you ever do that, I'm sorry, I'm a little off the paper you guys are writing. I'll go back. But if you ever pour chemicals in the wrong bottle, notify me immediately. Immediately, because if you don't, you can ruin other people's film for the rest of the day. Okay, so going back to your notes. Only have 1 chemical out at a time. So if I'm working on the D76, and I know the fix is next, I'm not going to have both out. If I'm doing the D76, I only have the D76 out. Okay? As you use the chemicals, so you're going through, you'll use the chemicals, D76, Fix, Hypo-Photo-Flow. You're going to pour each of them back into the bottle you got it from. Again, please, especially if there's other people processing at the same time, they might have their Hypo bottle out and you have your D76. They're color-coded and they're labeled D76 is white, Fix is blue, Hypo is brown, and Photo-Flow are the clear bottles. Okay, so be sure before you pour your stuff back into the bottle, be sure you grab the bottle that you were using. Again, if you ever pour a chemical in the wrong bottle, you must notify me immediately, please. Otherwise, you can ruin anyone's film that comes after you. The only chemical you do not pour back into the bottle, is the Photo-Flow. This is the very last chemical. It's like a spot-free rinse, and you're actually going to pour it down the drain once you're done with it in your tank. Okay, it can't be reused. If you run out of Photo-Flow, let Miss Blackwood know and she can make you more. Also, when you're pouring, there are funnels at each sink. They're supposed to be. Again, advanced class, where's the other funnel? Oh, here it is. Found it. Okay, funnels at each sink. There's also soap to wash your hands after. Don't even wash your hands in between. There's no point. So wait till you're done. and your hands are gonna smell for the rest of the day, and people say it smells like all sorts of gross stuff, and I'm sorry, too bad. Deal with it, okay? This is the worst part. Bribe people to do it for you once you do it once, okay? When you're pouring your chemicals back in the sink, please, or back into the bottle, use a funnel, and whenever you're pouring with your tank, always hold the lid, because even though we locked it in, sometimes when you're processing, it's unlocked. If you go like this, and your film falls out, it's now ruined, okay? So, whenever you're pouring anything out of your tank, hold the lid and then pour, okay? Also, when it says turn upside down 10 times, okay, you can go like this, you can go like this, but you don't want to be like this, okay? You do not want to agitate your film. When you do too many bubbles, those show up on your film as marks, and it looks really bad. Okay, when you're done processing, unlike Advanced, Miss Blackwood, please yell at Advanced for me. Clean up your mess. Don't leave tape here, don't leave film here, don't leave your tanks in the sink. They all go back over here. Everything is labeled. Okay, what shelves they go on. All right, so please do that. Okay, once you're done processing, you need to hang your film by attaching two clothespins. So over here in this cabinet, there are clothespins down at the bottom in the box, and there are things labeled with the class periods, except for period 6. Oh no, period 6, there we go. Okay, so you're gonna pull out your period. You can just hang them here. Okay, and you're gonna grab two clothespins, one for the top of your film and one for the bottom of your film. I'm gonna grab two clothespins. I'm going to put a piece of tape on at least one of them, and there is tape right here, nice and handy, okay? Right here. Just put a piece of tape with your name on one of them, and you're going to put that up here, and one down here. And this helps your film dry straight, and give it about 10 minutes and it'll be dry, or give it to the next period and it will be dry. Okay, oftentimes, you know, you hung your film here, you swore it was here. There's a whole bunch of people processing. I don't know why they do it. They move film around, or they steal people's clothespins. So if you can't find your name, you need to go through each one of these racks over here and actually look at the film, okay? Check to find your pictures before you come and tell me someone stole your film. And I have been teaching 9 years now, and I think there's maybe been twice when I couldn't find someone's film. It's usually in here somewhere, okay? It's usually not stolen. So, once your film is dry, you're gonna take it, and you are going to keep it in a negative sleeve. Negative sleeves, let me show you. Going around the classroom, here we go. Negative sleeves are in this drawer, labeled negative sleeves. Weird, huh? So strange. This is a negative sleeve. Okay. So you're gonna store it in a negative sleeve. Said this is where they are. Lay your film on a light table, and a light table only. Do not lay it here. Do not lay it on your desk. Your film can get scratched very easily. The light tables are the only thing I promise that I keep clean. Okay? You're going to lay your film on a light table. There's one over by the front door, and there's one over by in between the dark room and the black room. Okay? And you are going to cut it into strips of 3 to 5. There's scissors here in the drawer labeled scissors, glue, rulers. Weird, I label things. So when you're at the light table, you will be able to see the definitions of the photos. You want to cut it in no less than 3 photos and no more than 5. If you cut it more than 5, it won't fit in here. If you cut it less than 3, it'll fall through the enlarger. Do not cut it in 1 or 2. So, you know, if you're cutting it and you have 1 picture left, you need to cut extra at the end. So you need to do a little planning, okay? So cut in 3 to 5 photos. Store, and then you'll put them in the negative sleeves. Okay? And then you're going to store your negative sleeves in your folder in the filing cabinet over there. You should have all already made a folder. I hope. Yeah, because you keep your journals in it. So the same place you keep your journals, that's where you're going to store your negatives. Okay? A lot of times people think they're putting them in their folder and they actually end up in the bottom of the drawer. So check there if you're ever missing your film too. Okay? Final thing, you should never take your film out of your negative sheet until you're ready to print it. Again, like I said, it gets scratched really easily. You want to always protect your film. So always keep them in here, and you can put more than 1 roll in here. Keep them in that cabinet. That's what they're there for. When you get paper folders, for some reason people like to keep these in their paper folders. Do not do it. No, don't do it. The reason is because your paper can't get exposed to light, and people put these in their paper folders and they open up their paper folder looking for their negatives and they ruin all their paper. Okay, so please store these in the filing cabinet. If you want to store them in your folder in your backpack, you can too. Just make sure your film's in this. Okay, and so that's going to be processing. So you're going to practice before you start processing. Blackman's going to give you time to practice putting your film in a tank. Remember, use the practice film. Do it out here, close your eyes, go in the black room, try it out. Practice that first, then you guys will put your films in a tank, then you'll process, and then eventually you'll all end up with film in here. All right, so good luck. I'm sorry I'm not here to help you, but soon we'll be printing it when I'm back, and it's going to be so exciting. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.